morning and welcome back to my channel. Today we are making a patchwork dress out of some leftover napkins that my grandmother gave me. The plan is to try to get this done in 2 to 3 days so that I can wear it for a festival that is happening on my college campus next week. So that being said, let's go ahead and cover the fabrics, the inspiration behind this outfit, and from there let's go ahead and get started sewing. Okay, so back last year, I lived in Germany. I no longer live there, but while I was living in Germany, we went to Amsterdam, and we got to do some blue Delft pottery. We got to paint it, and then we fired it, and we have all these beautiful blue Delft tiles. And I ended up getting some napkins from my grandmother, and she was just trying to get rid of a bunch of stuff, and she ended up giving me 2 different sets of napkins. So this first one might be familiar to you if you've seen the other video already. This is the leftover napkins from a Egyptian cotton tablecloth that she gave me, and then the second set of napkins are the ones that originally inspired me for this dress. Are these really beautiful napkins that have kind of that Delft pottery vibe to them, and I think they're adorable. She got them while she was visiting the Netherlands, and I have 8 of them, which is not enough to make a skirt. But what my thought was is, what if I combined these napkins, and then whatever space I need left, I fill in with a check or a white linen. And so the idea today is to make like a cute patchwork quilt type dress out of all these fabrics. So what my hope is that I will cut all the fabrics to fit this napkin size, and then from there I will just sew all of them together into 2 panels. One set of panels will be the bodice, and then the other set of panels will be the skirt, and then the hope is that we will add some form of ruffle to it. However, I'm leaning more towards making it strapless now, or at least making it a thicker strap dress. So that being said, let's go ahead and show you the patterns I'll be using, and then from there we will go ahead and start cutting and piecing the fabric together. Okay guys, we are back in our normal filming spot, which is my dorm room, and now I'm going to go ahead and show you what patterns we're using. So for the skirt, I decided to stick with what is becoming a personal favorite pattern of mine. This is a vintage pattern from the 70s. It's the McCall 7668, and we are using primarily the skirt pattern and the short puff sleeve pattern. Now for the bodice, I had a really hard time figuring out what I really wanted. I didn't want a sweetheart neckline because a lot of my dresses have that, and I didn't really want to do a scoop or a square neck because I'm starting to make a lot of those kind of dresses too. And so it's probably more on the scoopy side of things, but the bodice I think I'm going to be using is a modern pattern, thank goodness. It's Simplicity's 8635. It looks like this, and that's the bodice we're going with. And I was really confused for a little bit because I just went through the pattern and I couldn't figure out if the way to finish all the raw edges was a facing or a lining, and they didn't specify anything in the pattern. And so I had to go in and do all the work, and turns out I will be lining this bodice. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting pieces out. I'm planning on saving about 3 of the napkins, 3 to 4 of the napkins for the bodice, and then the rest will be saved for the skirt. And I did realize that with the white fabric we have exactly 1 yard, so the ruffles might be a bit smaller than I originally wanted. But that being said, we'll see how far we can get with it today. And so let's go ahead and head back out to the main area and sew. But first, before we do that, I need to go grab breakfast. So I'm going to take you with me, and we're going to go to Dunkin' because I've been wanting to try their avocado toast for like ages because they have like bacon bits on them, and I love bacon. So let's go on a mini field trip, and then let's head back and actually start on this project. cut almost everything out. We've got the first set of the skirt panel laid out, and now I'm going to go ahead and sew all these squares together. Then once that's done, I'll go ahead and lay out the second set, and then finally, when both panels have been sewn completely together, then we'll cut out the skirt pieces. Okay guys, so we got the first panel sewn, and now I'm going to go ahead and cut out the skirt. And just so you're aware, the fold line is extended down here because I'm hoping to make it a really big poofy skirt. So here's what the top of the bodice looks like and the lining, and now I'm going to go ahead and sew the darts on both the lining and the bodice center front, and then we'll go ahead and finish the rest of the pieces. So here's the bodice finished, and the sides, I think it turned out really cute. I will have to add a little bit extra in the back for a zipper, but now that we've gotten the almost all of the bodice completed, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the skirt. Okay guys, so here is our dress. Currently it's a little bit small in the back, so I will need to add another panel, but now that we have the main body of the dress done, I'm going to go ahead and add the sleeves and then the ruffle on the base of the skirt, and after that we are essentially done with everything. But like I said, the last thing I'll need to do is the zipper, and then I was also thinking of adding a gingham waistband just so it matches the straps a little bit more. But anyway, here's what she looks like. I think she turned out super cute, and let's keep going. Hey guys, so we went ahead and finished the zipper, and she looks like that. And then I went ahead and finished adding the ruffles to the base of the skirt. And now the last thing we have to do is add this really cute gingham waistband. And I'm just gonna add a strap here and a strap here on the side fronts of the bodice. And then finally, we're gonna add really cute sleeves that are made out of the same material as the ruffle. And I am going to put a little gingham cuff on each end. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and gather the ruffle into the sleeve, attach the waistband, and I will meet you back when we are ready to do the final result. But here's what she looks like, and I think she's turned out really cute. Okay guys, so we have one sleeve attached, and this is what she looks like. So it's a little bit lower than my knee, but not exactly ankle length, so I can't technically call this a tea dress, but I think it kind of reminds me of the Selkie dresses. It's not as high. If it was a Selkie dress, the waist would be up here, but I think it's still like incredibly cute, and I really like how it turned out. So I'm going to go ahead and add the second sleeve, and then once that's done, we should be mostly finished. So here you go, and let's go ahead and finish those final sleeves.